Um, when I was asked to give the team Devo, I agreed out of obedience, but immediately began to sweat bullets. What could I possibly share with a bunch of warriors that hadn't been said before? But I felt God tell me to share my heart. Some of you may know a little bit about my enjoyment of creating glass art. It keeps me sane. It's a good balance for my day job. But I've always had this consistent struggle with the guilt for not helping the homeless or something like that. Recently, I asked God to show me how my desires and talents could glorify Him. He reminds me that He is the first and remains to be the master artist. He showed me how art can bring hope to a lost and hurting people. And the next thing I know, I'm on quite the adventure. His assignment became create 20 to 30 pieces for a local gallery. I was instantly nervous because of the transparency that would require, the time because the math did not add up, Satan's lies to me through my whole life about my worth, which I sometimes forget whose daughter I am. And how would this be different, truly glorifying Him? But the spirit of fear is not of God. I put my fear in check at His feet, asking Him to use me in spite of my worldly shortcomings. What the Holy Spirit did over the next 2 months was astonishing. I learned lessons about my process. I tripped, I worked hard, I fell, I let go. I called Satan a liar to his face. Thanks, Keith. I broke things, I worked passionately, I rested, I used scraps, I put scriptures boldly on pieces, and I asked for prayer, and I spent time on my face. And while all that sounds chaotic and tremendous, I had a tremendous amount of peace and confirming love to the brim throughout the whole process. This was life-changing. To my delight and astonishment, the assignment was completed on time and way above what I could have imagined. If you had seen my perspective, you wouldn't believe it, but that is the way He is with us. If we ask Him to come near, He will. In James 4:8, it says, "Come close to God, and God will come close to you." If we ask Him to use us, He will. In Genesis 50:20, it says, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it all for good. He brought me to this position so I could save the lives of many." If we ask Him to show us to love, He will. In 1 Corinthians 13:7, love never gives up, never loses faith, is always hopeful, and endures through every circumstance. It really is simple. He wants to be near us. He wants us to obey Him. He wants us to know who He is and to glorify Him for the master artist He is. He made me realize that if my life is poured out before Him with a desire for His purpose and His glory, He can use me to the delight of my spirit. He can use anyone. You don't have to feed the poor with food. He can feed His people with what they need through us.